Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Millennial Wave. I'm Rachel Kayleen, and this is episode 38 with the boy, Dean Masalta. He is absolutely an Amazon ninja. He is an online entrepreneur. He does a lot of consulting, coaching. Really, overall, he just helps people make money. He's been doing this for a while now, and I can tell he's really excited about it. Just having him in here, his energy, his vibe is just like through the roof. I know he's excited to talk about what he's been able to do and how he's helping people currently, right now, and everything that's to come. So, Dean, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Rachel.
Woo!
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you for sure. So me and Dean met at an entrepreneurship mix and mingle event for business owners last month when we actually wrapped up our round of podcasts in September. And my friend, our mutual friend, Josue, he introduced us, and Josue was like, you don't know Dean? Like, he's crushing it right now. Like, I was like, really? Okay, like, tell me about it.
He didn't tell me that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Josue doesn't want to, like, push his own button. Like, yeah, bro, I hyped you up. Like, you know? But that's, one of the reasons why, when I met you, I could tell you were doing big things, but most people won't, like, necessarily gloat about their success on the first meeting, at least the first meeting, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've done this, done that. So Josue kind of told me, and he was like, you should have him on your podcast. And I was like, you know what, you're right, I should have him on my podcast. And then I reached out to you after, like, we got Instagram and whatnot, and now here you are. But I think it's really unique because I've been involved in, like, the entrepreneurship world and was exposed to what business is when I was 17, and now I'm 21. So 4 years later, I've seen the huge e-commerce boom in drop shipping, Amazon FBA, just overall online business. Yeah. And there's a lot of people doing very, very well. I've gone to a lot of events, and there's so many people that are just crushing it. And then there's the people that were doing it before social media was even really a thing. Yeah. So I want to hear a little bit, because you said that you were able to really create a lot of success within 8 months, correct? And that's 8 months from today, like 8 months ago from today, basically?
Well, that's like, I was able, so pretty much, I was a project manager in a company here in Sacramento. I was there for a little over 4 years. I was about to hit my pension after my 5-year mark, and I had actually left 4 years and a couple months in to it. So I didn't just leave my job, and that's probably like something that I want to really like emphasize to people, is that when you become an entrepreneur, you're not just leaving your 9 to 5, metaphorically speaking, your income. You're walking away from everything that job provides for you, right? And me being a single father, right, that has a 6-year-old, I walked away from medical, from health, from dental, from my freaking pension. Like, that's what I was walking away from. And that's what a lot of people really don't understand, is that entrepreneur is just not working for yourself. It's really finding out ways how to make money for yourself. Now that you're out of that, metaphorically speaking, that 9 to 5 job. So then I walked away from that, and then just Amazon happened to happen, and I've been doing it close for about a year. Okay. My anniversary is actually next month. I think it's like around the 17th or the 20th of next month. So that's going to be my year mark. I was able to triple my income in 8 months. And then after I had left my job, it was just me, myself, and I. And I was just, doing Amazon, learning this algorithm, having some listings, having some products that were making really substantial money compared to my project managing job, right? So it wasn't no like Starbucks job, not to, dog Starbucks or anything like that, but it was a corporate, company. And yeah, tripled my income from there, from Amazon. So I had left my job, completely quit, and it was mostly like a mind fuck for me. Because on the weekdays that I had my daughter, she started school, she had school, but I started work at 7 o'clock. And so I was waking up around like 5:45, getting myself ready, getting, for work and getting my lunch ready and all that stuff. And then same thing with her. And then I was dropping her off at her mom's house just to beat traffic before 7, to get at work at 7. And so it's like, that was the mind fuck for me, where I would open up my laptop every single morning. I would look at my little girl on the bed sleeping peacefully, and I would have to disrupt her peace, right, in her sleep, wake her up, get her in the car, and obviously she would go back to sleep in the car, right, because of the motion. But for that 15-20 minute drive or whatever, dropping her off to her mom's house just so I can, make it to work on time, it was stress on her. So I was putting her stress, or my stress, to get to work on time onto a 6-year-old girl. So that's where the mindfuck was coming from. And then so every morning I would open up my laptop, and then I was like, oh snap, this is making some movement. This is making some progress. And it was funny. I was looking at old videos yesterday. It's a little side note. And Josue was actually there, and I had taken everyone out for drinks when I made my first $4,000 in profit, completely from Amazon. This was months ago. And so we went to Echo and Rig. We then went to Revival, and then from there we went to Tiger, and we were just all hanging out. So that was my way of giving back, and I've just been doing that ever since.
Yeah.
So then I had quit the job after 8 months of, tripling the income. But it was just me, myself, and and then I wanted to scale the business even more. And from that moment, from looking back to Josue and me giving back, I got a high off of that. And it was just something that just internally happened, where it's all like, I want other people to experience what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And then so I ended up teaching and reaching out to people when on Facebook when I had left my job. So then the way I did that, I get asked all the time, like, well, Dean, how'd you were able to grow X amount of students? Right now I have a little under 1,000 students.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, so in less
That's
than
fucking nuts.
90
like,
days.
What's funny is you are in the e-commerce space, and I feel like most people would be like, dude, you're late. Did you ever feel like, oh, wait, I might be too late to the trend?
I didn't. And here's why. And the way to answer that question, then I'll jump back to where I was at, is Jeff Bezos, right? The founder, the guy that runs Amazon. He's almost the richest guy in the world. But Amazon's only in 4 marketplaces. It's in here in the US. Right below that, as in profit, is the UK, and then it's Canada, and then it's Mexico. What Jeff Bezos is stating on massive global platforms, right, on podcasts, you can look this up on YouTube or Google his name, right, the direction of where Amazon's going with Jeff Bezos is he wants to put Amazon in every single marketplace. Home Depot just got done releasing an announcement a couple months back that they're putting their entire inventory onto Amazon's platform. Same thing with Sears, Walmart, Macy's. They're all putting their entire inventory onto Amazon's platform. So I hear it all the time, and then you see it on YouTube. People are saying, well, Amazon's oversaturated. No, it's not. You're just not playing the game right. Yeah. Or you don't know how to make it profitable or find that diamond in the rough profit, right? And then, so what that tells me, based on what Jeff Bezos is stating to the world, and he has the finances, multi-trillionaire, has the finances to back up what he just stated, is that he's going to put Amazon in every single marketplace globally. So they're not taking away from any products. If anything, they're adding on more and more and more products. So then that tells us third-party sellers, it's FBA, FBM, and then wholesale and retail and private label stuff like that, is there's just more products being added, so there's more money to be made on Amazon. So not a lot of people know this either, is that Jeff Bezos and his team only own at least 18% of the listings that you actually see that are on Amazon. So that would mean the other 80-something, 70-something, whatever, are third-party sellers of average people like me and average people like you that are posting other people's products, right, like wholesales, retail products, putting their own label on it, which is called private labeling. Amazon gets a cut, you get the rest of the profit, right? Your ROI margin cost, just throwing out some numbers. Let's say it's $10, right? Let's say you sell $20 20 units a day, right? Multiply that, and then multiply that, whatever that number is, times 7, and then multiply that times 4, and then you take however much it costs to get a month's worth of stock and inventory, and it's freaking fat. It's insane.
So let's say what the average percentage of profit is, 10%.
Well, depending on the product and how hot the market is. I have my margin costs on all my products are over 50%.
That's okay. Let me ask you this: who'd you learn from?
So
first of all, did you quit your job before you knew about Amazon?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So I started to implement Amazon, and then I started to have some success on it. I launched 2 products. I was running an eBay business on the side, but everyone that knows eBay or any type of drop shipping is you just gotta baby the fuck out of it, right? You gotta give it so much attention. You're doing most of the fulfillment, the packaging, the labeling, the handling, the customer returns, the answering emails. It's a lot of groundwork. Amazon just simplified it, and that's why Amazon is the number one profitable e-commerce platform that is out there and surpasses all the other ones.
Better than Shopify?
Way better than Shopify. So what I tell people with that, because I've tried all of them,
Oh,
right?
you
I'm not dogging any of them, no.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that I'm currently doing with my Amazon store right now, currently I have 5 products. I just launched a product that's coming in and should arrive sometime next month.
Are they all related?
Most
or like
most
are
of
they
them.
all in like one
in the
place?
same category?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So home and kitchen, patio, lawn and garden, and tools and home improvement are hands down the 3 most profitable products for the end of fucking time. Because everyone's always gonna need some home goods. Everyone's always gonna be needing some type of like gardening stuff for their house, either indoor or outdoor. Like I see it like kind of like real estate. Real estate's always gonna be around, and I also see it kind of like cars, automobiles, mechanics. That's always gonna be around, right? So same thing with these categories and on Amazon. So yeah, it just exploded. I left my job and then I looked at the market. I knew how to do Amazon. I was opening up my laptop every single morning and I was like, damn, I'm like starting to make more than what I'm getting from my check every 2 weeks on Amazon. Like, this is insane. So it's really a mind fuck, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, dang, and especially if you have like family and like, you know, even if you're a student at school and you're single, right? Like, time is everything.
Yeah.
And if you have the money to, like, that's working for you, it frees up your time so, you know, you can do other things. So then I left my job and it was just me, myself, and I that knew Amazon, right? Outside of like my circle. And so I started to look at the market of what was the most common question and what was the most common concern that everyone had on Facebook groups. So I simply went to Facebook and I was typing, you know, Amazon FBA, and rather than going through pages, I went to groups. And then I sent requests on all these private groups, and I was reading all of them. Like, I read probably thousands of comments. And then so I was like, okay, this is the main issue. Here's the answer. Boom, boom, boom. So I would answer it.
You'd provide a lot of value.
I provided a shit ton of value. So let's say they wanted to learn how to read the playing field and find a diamond in the rough product. I showed them how to do it step by step, but then I also gave them step 3, 4, 5, and 6. So then that led the conversation that was seen by, like, these Facebook groups are thousands of people, right? Some of them are like 1.2 mil, insane amount of people asking the same question, but no one's really providing enough value outside of their digital course of freely giving them content.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of that, and I would answer these questions, and then, you know, I would get like that little star on Facebook by saying like, this guy is a conversational starter or something like that, or a people pleaser or something like
people
that.
pleaser.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny, like just how they give you like stars based on like how much time, like how active you are on these comments and stuff. Yeah, I laughed at that people pleaser one. I was like,
people
I
pleaser.
fucking hate that.
That's real.
And we'll talk about that later because that's like what I want to implement eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I directed the conversation onto these comments that were on these group pages to my inbox. But then since there was such a high demand and people saw like, oh shit, this guy knows what he's talking about, other people started to reach out to me by like, I kid you not, by the hundreds. And people would reach out, and then I would go to my messenger on Facebook. I would go to like, okay, request message, approve it, and I would answer it. So then I was like, damn, there has to be a better, efficient way. So that's how I got my students, right? So then I figured out like there has to be an efficient way for me, so I'm not wasting so much time answering just generic ass questions and trying to convert them into students to be my, you know, AKA my little ninjas, I guess.
Yeah.
I love them. I call them family now. I love all my students. I know them all personally, and it's cool just seeing the different personalities like everywhere.
Okay.
So to answer your question earlier, how did I find out about Amazon? I simply Googled it, how to make money online.
No
this
fucking
guy,
way.
Yeah, this guy,
I'm
Kevin
so
David, came out.
He's like, oh God.
So this guy, KD, which his name's Kevin David, he's pretty much the god of the freaking godfathers of showing the world that you can make money online.
He's better than that Anthony guy.
Which one?
Anthony, the one that...
I remember you telling me this at the mixer.
That's Joseph Carter. Joseph Carter is literally his Instagram name Joseph, is Amazon Pays. Like, yeah. So I'm fucking weak off of him, but
I love it. Yeah, KD is hands down, like, in my personal opinion, the godfather of the godfathers.
Did you look at a bunch of them?
Yes,
a bunch of other people.
I stalked
What made you want to go with him?
KD?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't just doing Amazon.
What was
he was doing affiliate marketing. He was showing people the practical steps of how to do it. He was showing how to make money on real estate. He was showing how to do affiliations. He was showing how to make money on YouTube. Like he was showing pretty much how you can make money right now today.
And how'd you decide on Amazon when he has a bunch of other ways?
I saw that Amazon was going, and longevity was going to be the most profitable to start off with. And it was kind of like ego at the same time. Like I wanted to be able to tell people like, yo, dude, I built a business. Yeah. Right? Like this is my business model. Yeah. And I didn't necessarily want to be like an affiliate because affiliates were at the time. Affiliates are a lot different. Affiliates are like, yeah, like I have a pair of shoes of Nikes. I have a Shopify store, for example, right? These are all, even though I'm not the owner of Nike, right? I'm one of Nike's affiliates. If you purchase their shoe, I get like 10% off, 15 of the commission or whatever, right? So that's affiliate. So I started to answer all these questions, directed them from my inbox to my inbox. They became students. And then people started to refer me on their own on these massive Facebook groups.
You literally did it without any advertising.
Zero.
Organically?
I've spent zero money. And I told
people are going to fucking hate you.
Yeah. I spent $0 till this day on no Facebook ads.
Except for your products, right?
No, not even that.
No?
Nothing.
Amazon does it all?
Amazon will do all that. So there's a way there's a way in its algorithm that you can trick it because there's not like a representative going and checking every single listing because there's freaking thousands of them, right? And seeing like, okay, which one's legit, which one's not legit, which one should we put on page 1 outside of putting on page 6 and 7. It's all ran on data. Well, that data changes all the time and that algorithm changes all the time. If you know its algorithm, you can kind of manipulate it and outrank top competitors within days. And so I kid you not, every single one of my students that have launched so far, their first product has ranked within 14 days. So and that's not ego. It's just I have so much confidence in knowing Amazon's algorithm that I can pretty much almost guarantee like you're gonna make money off of it. If you do it right from A to Z.
Give me your best student's testimonial right now.
Rami, something like that. He's like a Middle Eastern guy. So he lives in Notre Dame, I think.
Oh, South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah. He's a super cool guy. Super heavy accent. His story is a little bit different. He quit his job with nothing, without knowing Amazon. He reached out to me, and now he's doing a crazy amount. I have students now that are making more money than what I currently make right now on Amazon. So that statement that people say you can only take someone as far as you've gone is fucking bullshit. Yeah. I think it's irrelevant. Does it have some power behind it? Yes. But in the overall spectrum, if you give someone a better system that what you had when you started, they can go
and learn from. They don't even need to make the mistakes because they're just learning from yours.
Exactly. So you've just narrowed the road for them rather than having this road that's all zigzagged up and downs, left and right. You just say, do this exact step. And that's why everyone globally loves what we're doing right now. Podcasts. Because they're learning a skill, if they're interested in it, of how to do it. And now they've cut off that, that statement of trial and error. That's the only way to learn. I mean, maybe back then, but now we've grown as like a society, right? Where we've not necessarily found the easier way route, but we've found a better, more efficient way of doing things. And that's why I use Apple's, all the time for the iPhone, is so freaking successful because what is their number one statement? It's friendly user. A freaking grandma that's blind can operate this thing. Yeah. Right? Compared to a kid, like my little girl, Emma, 6 years old, she knows how to work this freaking thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And because it's user friendly. Yeah. So I've just simplified Amazon to make it user friendly. And it's exploded. And so within 90 days, from what was once me, myself, and I, grew to where it's at now, and it's continuing.
What's the normal startup cost for an online business like that?
$2,300. To be comfortable and to be like, without a shadow of a doubt, like, okay, I'm going to...
inventory.
So that's for like inventory, your first month's worth of inventory, advertising on Amazon, right? Because they do it for you. It's called PPC campaigns, which is pay-per-click. Yeah. Product photography, doing giveaways so you can trick its algorithm and ranking within a couple of days, like all of that, like ins and outs, roughly $2,300 to really make an impact.
So within how many months did you really start seeing a profit after all the mistakes and all the trial and error for you?
Yeah. So for me, it took me 60 days, a little over 60 days. Because I know what I was doing.
Were you working on it like day in, day out, like 20, like not 24/7, but like how Gary Vee would say, like grinding your face off?
I mean, I wasn't really grinding my face off, but I was working hard.
Yeah. So any type of free time you had, you were doing that.
Exactly.
Got
exactly.
You. Around work, around your daughter.
Yep. Exactly. So that free time that I did have, I was, you know, eating my face, I guess, in Amazon, and it just worked. It's really freaking worked, and compared to my past, a year ago, I wasn't thinking the way I was thinking now. I wasn't even thinking about business. I wasn't even a fucking entrepreneur. Like, I didn't even think about any of that. It was just like, I'm working, I'm making decent money as a project manager. I'm not really stressing about money, right? Like, all my bills and everything are paid for. I got a little savings account, right? If anything were to happen, like, everything's somewhat decently okay. Yeah. So I was comfortable. And then the moment I left my job, that's when I was really like, oh shit. What really defines an entrepreneur? Well, what defines it, in my opinion, is someone that knows and that can find ways to make money continuously. That is not a one-hit wonder, because I get it. I mean, I don't get it all the time now, but since I think I'm pretty friendly, is that I used to get when I was posting this, and I know we were talking about this off camera, was that I used to get like, oh, Dean, this is a pyramid scheme. Right? What are you doing? This is a scam. Like, you're not going to make any money.
With Amazon?
With Amazon, which was
That's
crazy.
That's crazy. People will say anything's a scam.
Because the way that I was doing it was I was thinking long run. Is that when I tell someone down the road that it is successful right now, I can say, like, well, go look at my previous highlights on my stories on my Instagram account when it wasn't this big in students. When it was just me. And it was, just me focusing on this. Before I made any type of money, go look back and see the progression of where it's at. So what people used to say was a pyramid scheme is it's not going to work, are now the same people that are saying, Dean, what do you do?
Yeah.
Dean, how can I do it? Dean, where's your YouTube channel? I've been asking people, people have been asking me for months now, Dean, where's the YouTube channel? Dean, where's the YouTube channel? Dean, where's the YouTube channel? So we just launched, and I know we talked about this off screen, we just launched about 2 days ago, and the first day it hit 62 subscribers.
Yeah.
And so the way I see it is that's equity. It's equity that doesn't have a lid on top of it. Absolutely. And it's going to just continue to grow. So around all like the business side of Amazon, I really wanted to build a community of people that were friends. Like, I've had students that have gotten in relationships with each other, wow, which is crazy. And it's really to build a community, because a year ago, I was kicked out of a shit ton of communities because the way I was living, because I had shit like habits of where I was very destructive. And I wasn't the individual of how I think now. I wasn't that individual a year ago. Like, I was getting in trouble with the law. I got a DUI. Like, I was living recklessly. I was spending the extra money that I had right after taking care of all my bills and my daughter.
This was when you had your job or Amazon?
This is when I had my job. This is way before Amazon. And I was all the extra money that I had, I was spending it on alcohol, on women, like taking girls out. Like, I was living my life crazy and freaking wild. I remember one summer, I'm not going to say the person's name. I remember one summer, me and this individual guy, we would kick it all the time. We literally went out 7 days a week because my daughter and her mom and her family all went out on vacation. So I took advantage of that, I thought, and I was like, well, I'm going to use this time for me, right? So let's go out. So we literally hit every nightclub 7 days a week. That whole week just got fucking hammered every single day. And I was destroying relationships left and right, left and right.
Why do you think you were?
I was just confused. I was lost. I wanted attention, to be honest, and I was pleasing people. I was a huge people pleaser. Big time. So that's why I laughed.
In a bad way.
Yeah, and then that's why I laughed when Facebook gave me, conversation starter, and then now people pleaser. And I'm just like,
but in a good way. Yeah.
And it's just funny how, like, the universe, God just kind of rebuilds things, of what was once broken is now being restored, but better.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead.
I want to know how you shifted your mindset before you say anything. Like, when you got introduced to Kevin David, right? KD. Did he help to shift that when you kind of learned from him, or did you learn as you went? Because growing a business and learning a business is one thing, and creating it and creating success, but the mindset is totally different. Like, you can create success in a business but be a horrible person or have a shitty mindset or still, like, spend all the money, waste all the money, and do things recklessly. What made you switch? What made you change? What happened to your mindset that made you think differently?
So what ended up happening was I ended up violating my probation because I was on informal probation, and I ended up getting locked up for 10 days. And they call that a 10-day flash, of where you violated your informal probation, and that's pretty much you got in trouble with the law, no matter how big or how small. So if I even got like a traffic ticket, I was in violation, and if that officer was having a shitty day, he could technically be like, all right, I'm gonna roll you up, and now you're gonna spend 10 days in jail because now you're in violation of your probation because of my DUI. People ask me like, Dean, what'd you do? Right? Like, did you kill someone? I'm like, no, it was a simple fucking stupid DUI decision. Right? And where I got informal probation, and yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. I violated my probation, and I was in jail for 10 days. And I wasn't just in jail here in Sacramento, at the downtown location.
You went to Folsom? No, I'm kidding.
I went to the one in Elk Grove.
Oh, there's one in Elk Grove?
Yeah, and...
Which one is that?
I don't know the name. SCC County or some shit like that. I have no idea. But I was there for 10 days. And... again, I don't want to like judge people or anything like that, but I was there with some freaking like people that done some shit, like that done some real life. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm like as close as we are. I'm this close with people in jail that just got done committing murder, right? Or just got done like robbing a bank. I remember this guy that was like 6'3", 6'4", massive fucking Samoan guy, tattoos everywhere. Like, this dude was huge. And
wonder how the cops got him down.
And he robbed a bank in Yuba City, small little town, and he abducted 2 kids. Yeah.
How do you know that?
He told me.
He told you.
Yeah, people tell
you guys
you this
become
shit.
Like cool.
I mean, you're there for.
You have to kind of be cool with them. You don't want to drop the soap.
I remember when I first walked in, like I got checked, and it just. I mean, I never really got checked. Like I never was like coming from a background of like, oh, like I'm a gangster, blah blah blah. Yeah. No. I always been a white boy. But I first walked in there and like 3 dudes, and I'm not talking about like the guys that you see at these fucking gyms that are jarheads that are just big and fucking dumb. I'm talking about some real fucking hood guys that you look at them, even if they're skinny with no muscle, you're like, fuck that, I ain't gonna fuck with you. Like these type of guys, they came up and they're like, dude, take off your shirt. So at this point, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like, or they're just gonna like, they're gonna fucking like do something to me.
Yeah, they're gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, that.
Oh, they want to see if you have tattoos.
They want to see if I had tattoos because they saw my arms. They wanted to see if I was like affiliated with like, I don't know, the Blues or the Reds or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, so I was like, fuck, like, why do I do?
You took your shit off?
I had to.
Okay.
I had to, and it was just my eyes opened up. So that mind shift was like, if I continue to live this way, I potentially might be here for longer than 10 days. And then so that whole 10 days, I was thinking about one thing, and that was my daughter. And then I was just reflecting on the life that I was living. And I was living that life because I was trying to please the people that were around me. Trying to be cool. Trying to fit in. Trying to do the thing that everyone else was doing, right? On a big scale. I had gotten kicked out of multiple places. I gotten kicked out of multiple communities. I've gotten like, crazy text messages of like, stay away, you psycho, like all this shit. And I reflected on all of that. And I said, you know what? Dean, this is not their fault. This is yours. And I love how David Goggins talks about it. I was watching his podcast last night, when I tagged you in it. And he says that accountability mirror. He says yoga and all that shit works, right? But it suppresses what's really internally going on the inside of what is really going to change you. And what's going to change you is you look at yourself in this accountability mirror and you say, look, Dean, or look, Rachel, you're really fucking up. Stop fucking up, you loser, because this is the route that you're going to go down, right? So then I had to be honest, truly honest with myself. And I looked at myself metaphorically, spiritually, internally, mentally thinking. And I was like, Dean, this is where you're at. If you continue to do these habits, then nothing's going to change in your life. And if it's 10 days, it might last to 10 fucking years. Stop. I was getting in fights. When I was going out, I was a hothead, right? I wasn't like this when I was sober. When I was sober, I was very calm, selective, cool, chill, relaxed, Dean, fun Dean, let's kick it, right? But the moment I started to drink, I fucking changed. I was like demonized or something. Like something changed. I mean, not as much. I only have like 2 or 3, and that's it. and I'm done. That's my limit. 3 drinks. I don't care if it's champagne or whatever. 3 drinks is my limit in like an average, cup. And so, yeah, like that was my turning point. And then so I left there after the 10 days, and I made the mental decision of, you know what, I'm going to change. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care who's around, because not many people were in like my community of circle. And I want to build something that's more than just a business, but I want to build a massive movement of different people coming from different parts of the world, different backgrounds, despite no matter how bad or ugly or good it was, but coming together and building something for themselves so that they can say what I said earlier, is that they can go to people and say, hey, I built this for me. Look what I'm doing. And it's not so much like an ego thing, but it's like a success, like that feeling that you get when you've built something. I mean, no one can take that away from you. No one can take that away. For sure. No matter how much they want to take it away or how bad they talk shit about you, no one can take that success away from you, because that's something that you can honestly, truthfully, organically, and authentically say to yourself that, look, I did this myself. Yep. Because I changed the way that I see life. And so that's exactly what had happened. So I was giving people Amazon. But now what I do is, yes, I mean, I can give you Amazon all day long. I can teach anyone, how to do it, right? And I say this humbly. But what I want to really give you is your perspective change on life. Because if the way you view money, if that doesn't change, then you're still going to be so focused and consumed on getting it. So let's just fucking get it, right? Let me show you practical steps of how to get money so that you can stop freaking being so consumed on having your focus on money. But
what if they start making money and then like, oh, this isn't enough anymore. I need more. Because let's think about it. You're doing well. You're telling me that you're fine how you are. If you weren't to make another dollar like past every month what you already make, you're fine with that?
Yeah.
You're fine with that.
Honestly,
What cool. about the people that aren't?
The people that aren't?
Do you think they're being selfish? Do you think they're just
I wouldn't say necessarily selfish. I would say like, what's it for though? Yeah. Right? Like if money's not spent, why the fuck are you have it? Right? If money's not being like multiplied or used or even given, right? Like that's my number one love language is giving shit away. So I do all these giveaways. Like I give out courses and like my course completely for free sometimes, based on whatever I'm trying to do. But for the individual that wants more, and that I don't necessarily see if it's greedy or needy or selfish on their part, I would just ask them the simple question, like, why? Are you giving it away? Are you creating legacy for your family down the road? Or are you just doing it just to do it? Like, what's your motive? Right? So and then it becomes on that reality perspective, like that heart change, like, why do you have it? Why do you want more of it? Like, what's your why in it? Because if your why is not aligned up with those 2-3 things, then I don't think you should have it. Because then eventually you might fuck something up and it might completely go away. So money's not everything, right? That's why I don't hold on to it so tight, right? So people are starting to get to know me a little bit more. People are like, hey, Dean's the money guy, the Amazon guy, the money guy that can get you money on Amazon. I don't want to be known as that guy. Yeah. I want to be known as the person that just has built a community of people so that they focus not on money as hard as they do currently right now, because they have it. And so building and cultivating a culture of people that really are just, focused on different things. Absolutely. More important things that are going to actually have an impact, right? Family, friends, community, relationships. But do it in a way where it's authentic. Really authentic. And I know that's a word that a lot of people just fucking throw out there, but I feel like not a lot of people know the weight of that word of just simply being authentic. Yeah. So what I started to do that really was able to relate to people outside of why I think, outside of just showing them Amazon, this is why I think the community blew up to almost 1,000 students in less than 90 days, is that I was being vulnerable. I was being really vulnerable by telling people, like, this is my life. This is what had happened in my past, and Amazon happened, and the success happened. Like, what's your story, right? Outside of money, outside of Amazon, let me get to know you and be brave enough to be vulnerable so that you can really build something for you. And a lot of students have really opened up to me, not just about Amazon and me teaching it, but about like personal shit too. And so I'm super grateful and I'm super thankful for that, is that I'm building a business, but at the same time, again, I'm building a community of people that are changing really internally. They're changing their perspective of how they approach and how they see life and how they take, potential struggles, how they receive it.
Yeah.
And their responses are really different.
And that's special.
And that's something that before a lot of people were trying to take away, that I was trying to build, but I was trying to build it in a very wrong way.
Yeah.
And so I was a fish that was trying to swim outside of water. And until I got into my actual God-given purpose, which was helping people, giving back, building a community so that people can really build something for themselves, that's when it started to explode. Because I got asked, I don't get asked a lot, but I've had people ask me like, Dean, you're a one-hit wonder. Dean, you, and these are just like people that are never going to change and they're just fucking haters, right? Because last time we met, I gave them a bad impression, right? So some people, based on whatever their standards are,
they won't get over it.
They won't fucking get over it. So I'm like, whatever, right? Because if you're stalking me, stalk me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's cool. But if you want to join.
Trust me, it's
cool.
just the beginning.
Yeah, cool.
The fact that you've only been doing this for a year is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, think about later. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, and I'm just super excited.
Yeah.
Right? From someone that was, I would say, a nobody. I would say someone that was really living a life that was just destructive, to now giving back in the way I give back, but showing people a practical way, a step-by-step of how to get there. That's the greatest feeling.
Absolutely.
Right? I have so many moments where I just fucking cry because it's a beautiful thing that's being developed, even still to this day. And, we're doing that event November 9th here in Sacramento, and this was something that was always been on my heart, right? Of bringing what I have on a massive community scale and showing people how to do it too. And then we continue to build this massive community, right? That's around, like-minded individuals, and it's just fucking awesome.
I love it.
I love it.
That's very special. So tell these people where they can find you.
Yeah.
Regarding all your events, your course, everything, like that's all you. So where can they find you? I
just launched the YouTube channel, so it's just my first and last name is Dean Masalta. Masalta is Masalta. Outside of that, my Facebook is also Dean Masalta, and then my Instagram is also Dean Masalta. So I'm very easy to find.
Yeah.
Just my first and last name on all or any platform is just Dean Masalta. And I'm doing that, yes, for marketing, but also it's convenient for people to remember.
Yeah, and I already know there's going to be an easy answer for you just based off the type of person that you are, but I always like to ask people at the very end, is there any type of opportunity, which I'm sure if you guys have been listening, it's very clear, but opportunity for people to work with you, to learn from you, to get mentorship from you, to just ask you a question and hear more. You can hear about them, they can hear about you, but more so just people having access to you.
Yeah, I would say the easiest access is to hit me up either on my Instagram account or on the YouTube channel that I just launched in the commentary section regarding anything, because I'm going to be very active on there.
Do you answer all messages?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I try. Yes and no, but depending on
what they say. Don't hit them up being like, "Hey, bro, how you doing? What's your number?"
I do have a Google number, but that's only kind of restricted. That's still in the making of everything. So that's not yet launched, but that is going to be launched very soon. I would say in the next 30 days or so.
Perfect.
But I would say the YouTube channel or my Instagram is the easiest way to figure out how I'm doing. And then we are launching the actual digital course of the entire template from A to Z of how to make Amazon work with you within 30 days. Again, I just simplified Amazon. And just continue to build a community around that.
Love it. Awesome, guys. You heard it here first. Dean Masalta, episode 38. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.